And so wood chips. Let's talk about mulch again. And this one here is a mulch that I really do like to use. I use a lot of it in my home garden, and these are wood chips. The biggest thing I love about wood chips is that they're free. So like leaves and grass clippings and chopping up your weeds, wood chips are typically free. If you can connect with a tree topping company or any arborists who are taking down trees, you can have them drop that load off at your place instead of having to haul it off to the dump, which is usually what they do. And so they often will appreciate that. So there are a few things to know about wood chips though. Now, first of all, there's a difference between wood chips and bark mulch. Wood chips is going to have also the limbs and the green material that's from the tree mixed in with the wood itself, and that's going to give you a better balance of nitrogen and carbon, which helps it to break down faster. And it also it offsets some of the nitrogen that it robs from the soil in order to start to decompose. Again, wood chips are typically free, and you'll see the green parts. Wood or bark mulch is something you're going to find at landscaping businesses all around town. It's only the bark. It's generally meant for cosmetic purposes. It's going to look really nice in your garden beds for perennials around fruit trees. It's really good at suppressing weeds. It's really good for maintaining moisture, and eventually it will break down. It will provide some nutrients to the soil, but not as much as with all of that green material in the wood chips. Plus it also costs money. So you have to go and you have to, either buy yards of it, and it can cost quite a bit. So that's the difference between wood chips and bark mulch. Now, we've been using wood chips up here at the Shuswap Community Teaching Garden as well, but this is not an ideal location to be using this method. There's a documentary online called Back to Eden, BTE gardening, and the idea behind it is about using wood chips everywhere to grow your food, mimicking the forest, how basically the trees break down and creates excellent nutrition to the soil. And it is really great. But in a situation where we're trying to grow a lot of food and we have very narrow rows, so you can see here with this row, we have a line of wood chips, and in the fall we had added a lot of wood chips to the soil. It's great to suppress weeds. It's great to maintain moisture, like really great to maintain moisture. It's also like earthworms absolutely love wood chips. So you're going to get a lot more activity, and it does break down into the soil. And so it's great, but in narrow rows like this, it just keeps getting mixed into the soil, and we don't really want that. So like I mentioned, in order for the wood chips to decompose, it will need nitrogen, and it will take the nitrogen from the soil at the surface in order to start that decomposition process. But that can be detrimental to your seeds and your seedlings. So in an annual garden, this can be something that makes your actual plants not thrive. And so wood chips on a garden bed is not ideal. It's great around perennials because the perennials' root structure is so far down below the surface of the soil that it's not competing with the wood chips. And those wood chips will help with maintaining the moisture, suppression of weeds, and ultimately feeding the soil. So that's really good in perennials. And we use it here on the pathways, again, mainly for weed suppression. So you have to have a really good thick layer of it, though, to be a good weed suppressant. The nice thing is weeds that grow up out of wood chips also come out far more easily than just on straight ground that's already dried a bit. So here at the Community Teaching Garden, we're actually going to be raking away these wood chips out towards the pathways at this point. And instead up here, we are going to be trying to use compost, leaves, grass, and maybe, chopped up plant material. That is what we're going to be adding to the surface of this soil. Our soil up here is very sandy, mixed with a lot of organic because we've been working on it over a number of years, mixed with a lot of wood chips because this has been about 3 years of wood chips. But still, the surface dries really quickly, and so and we're full sun here, like all day sun. So we have got to put something on top of this soil in order to really try and maintain moisture. Drip irrigation is great, but we need another amendment. So that's why you'll see we're going to start moving away the wood chips in the community garden towards the pathways, and we're going to use other means. So yeah, wood chips are great. I love them. They look nice, they're free, they do their job, but you want to use it for the right applications. As always, we'd love for you to learn more about us. Find out more at shuswapfood.ca. Look for the Shuswap Community Teaching Garden on the Facebook and Instagram, and we will keep trying to educate and help people grow food and not lawns.